I'm Rachel Moger with some amazing healthy cooking tips for you today here in my own kitchen. And we're gonna cook up something really simple, a great side dish, asparagus. And it's gonna be so easy. We're gonna put some very, very simple ingredients, as I said, on it, stick it in the oven, not think about it, and it'll be done. But let's talk about our asparagus. When you're in the grocery store, you have a choice of picking which produce you want. And I tend to look at everything really closely and figure out which ones are the best. Now, I've grown asparagus, so I know a couple things about them. First of all, I know that the whiter, thicker asparagus, they've just been growing for a longer period of time because they start out thinner, smaller shoots. And they come out of the ground and you cut them off, and this is the part that you eat. But there's a couple things you should know when you're choosing them. Like, for example, for this one, you want to make sure that the ends are nice and smooth and closed, because if they're not, they're getting ready to go to seed. Like perhaps this one, see how you can start to see little flowers on it growing? Almost little buds getting ready to go. Those are going to go into seed, and that's how obviously the asparagus keeps populating itself. But with the smoother ones, that's going to be sweeter, not as coarse through the stalk. So I always look at the heads and try to pick out whichever one that I can that's got most of them more smooth and in contact and close like that, instead of getting ready to go to sprout and seed. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to chop them and put them in the oven, and you can see where the asparagus starts to bend a little bit more. Just pick them up and feel them, and that's going to tell you where to start chopping off the little coarser, harder ends. So I can kind of tell by looking at them. You may want to bend them a bit. Some people snap them, and where they snap it goes, but I just go from that point down a little bit because I can handle a little extra fiber. And we're just going to go through and, like I said, cut all the ends of these off, which is probably the hardest part of this recipe, because it's so simple. And we're going to put some very, very basic ingredients on here and put them into the oven. And we're going to throw them into the pan here, just kind of scatter them a bit, because we're going to sprinkle them with those ingredients. And what I'm going to put on there is a nice olive oil and some sea salt and pepper. And you can literally just drizzle it over the top, maybe about a tablespoon or so. Very lightly drizzle it over the top, and crunch in or grind in your sea salt and pepper. And of course, if you're trying to stay away from salt, you don't have to put that sea salt in. I think it gives it a nice little flavor. And once we do that, we're just going to gently toss them so that we kind of cover the olive oil and the salt and pepper all over. So our asparagus are ready to be put in the oven, and I've preheated the oven to about 350 degrees. Now I know every oven's a little different, so the time may change as to how much time you have in there, but we're going to check in about 15 minutes and give it a little shake so it, cooks evenly, and we'll come back to it. We're going to cook it till it's crispy tender, usually about 30 minutes. So we'll check on these in a minute. Okay, so we're done for our first 15 minutes, and we're just going to go ahead and give these a little shake. I like to check them often because I like to have them cooking evenly. So just shake them up, and the next time we check these in about 10 minutes, we're going to start to see some browning. All right, so it sounds like it's time to go ahead and do our second check on the asparagus, and I have a fork with me this time because they may actually be ready. And how you can tell if they're ready is you're just going to give it a little stab. Now see, these are kind of crispy tender, and I like them like that. I would pull these out and have them ready now. Another thing that you can do if you want to brown it up a bit, see, like this one's starting to get brown, is you can go ahead and kick your broiler on and only do it for like a couple minutes and let them get even a little bit more crispy brown on top, or you can take them out just how they are. So that is really up to you. I like them how they are. I'm going to take them out now. Okay, so these are ready to be served. We're just going to go ahead and put them into the plate like so. Boy, they're so green and pretty. Whoa, one that got away, no worries. So these are basically ready to be served up just as they are. And I know they're going to be a wonderful complement to whatever you're serving up for dinner, maybe even tonight. Simple ingredients, bring out the flavor of the asparagus. I just know you're going to enjoy making this one for your family or guests or who knows what. I just hope you enjoy it. So thanks so much for spending time with me today, and I can't wait to see you again.